This will be interesting. Let's see if it goes live too. Oh shit! I think it does. Will it go live? We shall see. Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I see the delay. That's good. All right, all right. So, as I'm figuring things out, do I just like slide things in here? How do I? How come I don't see us? Where are
You,
we?
you
Trying to figure out this technology. As can you tell, it's been a while since I started. See, remove from stage. I don't want to remove you from stage. So how do I add you from to the stage? Mm, 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 mm. I don't want to remove you. We don't want to do that. Right, just give me a second here. There we go. How come it's not? It's. I was
okay?
hoping that it would be a background.
Well, you,
You see?
you okay. So on down at below, you should have background suggestions. If you've uploaded a background, you should be able to do that. But that's okay. It's up to you. You
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. I mean, that's weird that it didn't. In the past, you'd put a background and it would allow you like this,
okay? So
and then
that
I
is
would
that a
see.
background or is that a background you have already loaded?
I do, and then if I
Okay.
do,
So
yeah.
maybe
See,
put us on, and then if you click on if it's in the background section, it
yeah,
would come up.
or over. Oh, maybe because it's under overlay.
Overlay.
Okay, that's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
That's
So
probably why.
so yeah, because an overlay will show in front of and the background shows behind us.
Right, right.
There you
I'm
go.
still. It's the new year. We're still just trying to figure things
It's
out.
okay. It's okay.
Welcome, welcome to the live. I'm trying to see if I'm just testing things out here, but I don't see us go live here on. And I'm never afraid to look silly as we're figuring. Ah, voila! There we are.
There you go.
Let's
Now all you
see.
have to do
There
now.
we go.
There we go. Now you're ready to rock and roll. You're causing fire.
Pure fire.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? What's going on?
Not well, a lot, but in a good way. What's up with you?
Everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could only. I'm only switching.
You're fun. This is funny. This is so funny. You're just flipping things around and doing
I'm
your
just flipping
thing.
things and figuring things out. How are you? So yeah. So thank you so much. Like we, how did I mean? Every time that you and I have a conversation,
Mhm.
something like this occurs, where
Yeah,
creativity
well,
creativity
conversation
is
leads to conversion,
unfused.
man. Yeah, well,
Mhm.
so go ahead. Well, no, well, you should introduce yourself and introduce me because we'll go, who are these people just showing up on the screen?
I know, and I will, and I'm just
Okay.
still kind of like
Fooling
I'm
around.
all about that raw life. Yeah, I'm all about
Okay,
fooling
no, what's
around and
going
things
on with
like
me?
that.
Yeah, everything's going on. Like today, doing a lot of content stuff, and then I went to see my physiotherapist for the first time in the new year. I was having some
Okay.
pain. I had some pain in part of the body, and he said, "Wow!" And after I finished, I was like pain free, just beautiful, wonderful. Spent the day getting ready for our epic conversation, and people who
Mhm.
know me, it's rare. Dr. Vibe has notes. That's rare, family.
Is
So
it really? Because you seem prepared when you're doing your shows, like when
yeah,
you're
I
doing your.
I I do, but when I'm doing my show, I have questions, yes, but those questions basically go with the flow of what the friends are talking about. Like I have prepared questions, but I let it go where the conversation the guests, I like to call them friends. People know I'm a little different. Friends or the audience wants to take it because I like it that I'm just steering the ship. The guests, friends who are on the other side, who are beside me on screen, and the audience, they drive the ship. And for me, there's nothing better when an audience just drives the conversation. You just steer, and it's just such an, when it happens organically, that is such a beautiful feeling. And I can tell by the body language of the people who are on, wow, you can tell that they're going, wow, this is like really good. They're having a good time, because a lot of times they don't, well, if they watch what you do online, some do, some don't. If the ones ahead of time, they get the experience, they say, okay, now I know what I'm getting myself into. And especially if I'm having someone new on, I send them 1 or 2 links of previous conversations so they get a feel on how it goes. And not like the last live one we did, was that with, the lady from, I'm getting feedback.
That's now you will hear it.
Black Queens of Durham. And the funny thing is, the last 2 people we've had on, I said, like, how much time do you have available? They said an hour, and the conversation's gone 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
So when things like that happen, it's just magic. And the can't remember, from the lady who runs the Black Queens of Durham, we stayed on an hour and a half after the show finished.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
But I made time. It was great. It was great. We made time, and I provided with her some suggestions, and she's supposed to get back to me sometime this week, but she will, because she said, wow, you add so much positive value. I said, I'm just sharing and making suggestions. So that's basically it. So I love it. I'm so excited, not only for what I'm getting, what I have the opportunity to do with others, but even this conversation. Because we're just hanging out. Yesterday I was hanging out with my family, having some food, and I said, Shirley called. And I stepped away from the table and took the call, and I said, okay, and just got some things in. I said, okay, let's get back at a certain time. We got back at a certain time, and during our conversation, why don't we just have a conversation about, just some suggestions, and just hearing if anyone has anything to say. And again, the nice thing, this will live in digital memory, so people can refer to it, and hopefully this will become a series, and we can invite other, even though we represent content creation, I believe I know that a lot of things we're sharing will be good just for anybody, not just content creators.
For sure. Well, you know what? Before we get into that, I want to introduce you properly.
Oh no! Can I get up and I'll leave? No, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
So today we're having a conversation of 2024 reflection and 2025 intentions. And how this came about is I just started, calling or texting friends and family and fellow content creators, and just really be intentional to say not just happy new year, but how you doing, how's it going, how's your holidays, without any intention, because and it happens with me. A lot of times when you're as content creators, collaboration is huge, and working with others is huge, and asking for help is huge. But I was really intentional to have conversation without, like, I'm not asking for an ask. I'm not not looking for a favor, and just a simple check in. You're on my mind, and how you're doing. And then this came all about.
Yeah.
From there.
And you know what? I want to say thank you for doing that, because people make the assumption, which is a dangerous word right there, that you're always so busy. Nah, I'm positive productive. I'm not busy. And as I tell people, if I see you call and I don't pick it up, even if you don't leave a voicemail message, I see your name on my phone. I'm calling you back, because you called me for a reason. You didn't call me for nothing. But you just wanted to chat, which was beautiful. And I think that's one of the things we should look to do in 2025. Don't reach out for a purpose. Just call to check in.
Yeah. Just a simple hello, how you doing? Yeah. And I'm not, there's no, no ask, it's just like, hey, no, like, seriously, how you doing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, 100%. Because you never know, as I say with people, you never know what's going on underneath the cover.
Oh, 100%. I've, you know, I play. I know I smile and I'm happy and and I'm helping fellow friends and fellow content creators. But I've been in times where I'm really really low and I've been really depressed or I've been just like I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like creating content. I don't even feel like being around other people. I don't feel like talking to anyone. And as I'm going through these feelings, at the same time, in the back of my head, in the depth of my soul, and my gut says, but at the same time, I wish somebody would have taken the time to just call me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And
Yeah.
it rarely happens. You know what I mean? It really, and I maybe in some way too, I was thinking too that does it rarely happen because I'm not doing that either. You know what I mean? Like, is it
Um,
like it's like it? But I see it more like an energy in a universe. Like
sure.
the more I put out, then the more that kind of thought and energy will return. Because I know I tend to, especially around this time of the year, I really isolate myself. Like
Mhm.
winter, like once it's my birthday, like December, January, February, March, I really isolate myself
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh man, how come I'm missing out on all these things? And it's like, well, it's girls, because you're isolating yourself. So so I want to go into 2025 being more intentional of like calling people, texting people, send fun questions, or just a simple, hey, how you doing? And really try to go beyond the surface of like, oh, I'm good, weather's fine, and just like, no, like really, how are you doing?
Well,
Um, okay,
well,
but before
go
we
ahead.
say,
Finish up.
I was supposed to do an intro. Okay, everybody, let's welcome Dr. Vibe. He's an award winning podcaster, show host. He is the co host and co producer online show that is called the Dr. Vibe Show. In the world for that, he's sponsored by Dove Men's Care, and I love how you always mention that. But yeah, like as I mentioned, he is a podcast and talk show that covers topics like current events, relationships, social issues with a focus on Black culture and empowerment. And he features amazing people. He interviews a variety of guests, including authors, entrepreneurs, activists, and
Wow. I need to seal this. I'm not even this good.
and the show really aims to spark meaningful conversation
Yeah.
and raise awareness on important issues. Everyone, let's welcome Dr. Vibe.
Thank you, Shirley. And I want to say also, I want to say blessings and high favor for you and your family this year.
Oh, thank you.
Because I saw your other half walking in the back. I gotta mention him. Gotta
Oh,
mention it, right? It's some of the best time to mention family. No
oh,
problem.
thank
Drink your
you.
water. Drink your water.
Yeah.
I will just add some little add on to what Shirley said. So I host and produce 5 different shows now a week.
Wow.
So it's but I love what
You're
I do.
bananas.
I've done over 5,000, hosted and produced over 5,000 online shows or online conversations. A two-time Canadian Ethnic Media Association award winner and a co-host and co-producer of the Dad Central Show since 2020. It's the only online show in the world for dads and fathers and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And since we started, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And we did it again in 2024. So
Nice.
just a lot on. And I really love to help people, especially people who look like us, score goals and get wins. I
Yeah.
also assist entrepreneurs from the ideation to $100,000 year revenue, say score goals and get wins. I've been a certified coach. I have the piece of paper there since
Oh, okay. You're not just saying you're a coach, but you
no,
a coach.
since 2015, and I'm also part of the school that I graduated. I'm a trainer and a mentor now. So
Nice.
the people is the thing. So there we go.
Very, very cool.
Okay, so probably some things you didn't know. So there
No,
you
no,
go.
no. What made you, well, first question, what made you want to become a coach? Like, how did that even come about?
Funny. As a min, yeah, back in 20, I run. This is and more everything has a story pinned to it with me. Back in 2014, and the ironic thing is, well, there's a person I developed a really good digital relationship with. Her tagline on Instagram is "I am Ms. Word." Her proper name is Alisa, Alessa Word, and we communicated a lot. We were part of a mastermind group back in the 2015s. What's up, Frequency Event Promotions? And she said, Dr. Vibe, you make a really good coach, because she had her certification. And I'm going, huh? But you know what? If someone has that experience and they see something in you, I didn't push it away. So I had a conversation with one of the gentlemen from the school, Steve Keeges. I grilled him for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then it's a 6-month course, once a week for an hour and a half. Plus there's work to do with the course. And plus to graduate, one of the things you have to do is you have to write a business plan, because they want you to have a coaching business, not a coaching practice. Big difference. And I loved the course. The only wish I should have taken it 10 years before that, but it's provided me not only helps me with online shows and conversations, but just everyday life. It's a great self-development course, also great in regards to launching a successful coaching business. And I actually no more than an hour ago sent Alisa a video message saying, "Hope you're doing fine." And is she against having an 11-minute catch-up conversation? So there you go.
Oh my gosh. Just a second.
You need water.
Lita, you okay? Oh.
Have some water. Come on.
Yes, got my water.
Good. All right. So there you go.
So you said there's a difference between coaching business and coaching
practice.
What are those differences?
From my lens, and the things I'm saying here tonight, people, are suggestions and things I've lived. Not to say I'm telling you to do it. I'm providing suggestions. This, I can't say if other courses do this now, but this sets you up with a business plan, because a doctor puts his practice, he opens up his practice and he hopes that people come. Right? When you have a coaching business with a school that I'm a part of, we teach you marketing techniques, so that many of the students, before they graduate out of the course, already have clients.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So we teach them business practices on top of coaching fundamentals. Here's a freebie I'll give up to, and it's helped me from the course for years and years. If you're doing a conversation with someone live, when you ask them a question, shut up. Stay quiet for at least 10 seconds, if you can, 20 seconds. And you're saying, why do that? Well, people process information at different rates and speeds. And when you're just sitting and waiting, now they're waiting for an answer. And also, too, it's a form of respect, because I don't know if you've been in those conversations, Shirley, when someone asks you a question with 3 seconds, say, "Oh, what's your answer?" Okay, I'm trying to think about what you asked me, and you've just messed up my line of thinking.
Oh yeah.
And that was something I learned from the coaching course that I apply to online conversations, online, offline. I just stay quiet. About 3 months ago, I was doing a session. I was doing a sharing session, because I don't do presentations. I share in front of about 30 men. And at the end, we finished up, and I asked one of the gentlemen, I said, "Did you enjoy it?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "Well, give me one thing that you enjoyed." He said, "When you asked us a question, you gave us time to think about an answer."
Oh, nice.
Small thing, but big thing.
Big thing. And as a content creator, in our case, as podcasters, your editor will love you for it.
Absolutely. Which is, I don't do 8 months of the year anymore. So there you go. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today, like as I mentioned, 2024 reflections and 2025 intentions, we felt like in the moment of checking in with each other, maybe in a way we're kind of like being guinea pigs of sharing like where we're at in our lives,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
giving permission to fellow content creators to think about beyond content creation. Because, if your mental health, if your physical health, uh, you know, all aspects of those areas in your life are not going right, it's really tough to be a content creator. So a simple, hey, how are you feeling today, can really, really go a long way,
Mhm.
especially starting in the new year. So
Yep.
I guess this is what this is. It's like a, how are you feeling today? And we're hoping some people are brave enough to comment and share what what they're going through, what they're thinking, what has been their reflection for 2024, what's their intention for 2025, and really having those kind of conversation. Well, so far I know, like when we spoke, you talked to me about, like, you know, I mean, we all have highlights, um, especially the last week, but also there's been tough times, right?
Mhm.
What has been the highlight for you in the past week so far,
That's right.
or
Okay.
challenges?
Well, the challenges, not
And
many.
and it doesn't have to be the week; it could be the whole year. Let's
Okay.
let's let's
So,
look at
so, so
2024 reflection.
where do you want me to start? The challenges or the yays?
Let's do the what was the challenges, and then we sandwich it with yays.
Or yeah, and when I say yay, whenever I do something I get accomplished, I go yay or
Yay!
yes, even if I'm in my chair. Like these video messages I sent today, there was a gentleman that I procrastinated sending a message to, who reached out to me, a corporate guy who reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I was procrastinating. And when I got it done, I go, yes. And then I said, then I put a follow up in my calendar, yes, again. So that's a good thing, right?
Right.
So I did that. About a month ago, I had an incident happen that froze me for about 2 days.
Oh.
Like I really, and people wouldn't notice because it happened on a Sunday and I had to do a Monday show. And oh, look at this. For me, I'm coming back from a hiatus. So it's about getting into the groove of it. 2025 is being consistent. Love that word. I'm going to sideline periodically. I love that you said the word consistent. Myself, again, this is just me. You don't have to follow. I just put suggestions out. I don't like making goals. I like to use words for the year. And
Mm.
every year, one of my words that I use is clarity, because I can only speak for me. The more clarity I have, the better I can reach the goals I've set for myself. Another word is delegate. Content
Mm.
creators relate. We got a lot of things, not only in our daily lives, we're human beings first, and then we've got to do all this content creating. I said a few years ago, I can't be everywhere, and I don't
Yeah.
want to be everywhere. So I have been able to find resources at no financial cost to myself who can do a lot of stuff that takes up a lot of my time. Because as content creators, I think, yes, money is great, but the time you lose, you can't buy it back.
That's real.
Not only professionally, but personally. Not even Elon Musk, the world's richest man, can buy time back. Facts.
Hmm.
So I was in this haze for about 2 days, and you never know what's going to happen. And I was speaking with a client, and she had told me, um, "Oh, if you're alive, I was going to jump on and do a live about ODSP for rounds." Okay, you can do it after this. Thank you, Mignon Cam, and that's another person, wonderful person we both know. Uh,
Hmm.
that so I was in this, and I was speaking with this client, wonderful lady, and she said, "Oh, my daughter does the social media stuff." I said, "Okay." So I spoke with her daughter. We had a wonderful conversation. Got a lot of stuff done. Shared stuff with her. Oh, thank you for this. Thank you for that. And right at the end of the conversation, and I didn't haven't met her before. She's in her early 20s. She said, "Can I pray for you?"
Mm.
And I needed that so much at that time. And here's someone I had never met before, much younger than myself, saying, "Can I pray for you?" And that began a U-turn for me. And every time we have a conversation now, we pray for each other. So it was just a wonderful moment that helped me do a U-turn in a time that I was like frozen a little bit. And and like I said, this happened on a Sunday, and the next day I had to do a show. And then here's another time that and again, during the holiday season, not everyone's celebrating.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And within a 12-hour period, I found out about these things in order. Got up in the morning, and I got to send a message to this gentleman's associate. There's a fatherhood group down in Atlanta, Georgia, and over the last years, we've been trying to collaborate and do on things. And there was a gentleman I was always speaking with. Hadn't spoke to him for about a year and a half. The gentleman who runs the organization sent a message that morning, said that this gentleman passed away on Boxing Day at 46 years old.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And I said, whoa. Within 2 hours, another associate, he comes to me, and I could just tell that he wasn't himself. He wasn't 100%. I say, something's going on. You want to share with me? So he pulled me aside and he says, a young lady that he knows that was 26 years old was murdered.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And even more impactful, she has a 9-year-old daughter.
Oof.
Right?
Oof.
So, and then right after that, I spoke with another gentleman. I won't get too much into detail, but he is having challenges in his marriage in regards to, and it's, how can I put this? Just in relations. I'll just leave it at that. In relations between him and his partner, his marriage. And we went in for about an hour and a half. We just sat, and that was wow. And then yeah, those are the three I can remember off the top. And that was all within a period of 3 hours.
Wow.
And so when you're a server like Shirley and myself, a lot of times there's a lot put on our shoulders.
Yep.
And I shared this with somebody, and I don't know if it was a text message or a voice message they left me. They left me the right message at the right time, saying, you know what, make sure you're taking care of yourself, etc., etc. So it was really, so those two sets of things happened during the holiday season. So again, you never know what's going on underneath the cover, but it's always good to be able to have people out there that care for you, that you can share these things and say, they either give you a digital hug, a verbal hug, or a physical hug. Right. And actually that, at the end of that week, about when that lady had prayed for me, I had to do a sharing session in front of a group of men. And right at the end, I shared that story that I was having a challenging time, and someone came and prayed for me. And I shared that with the men there, and it was very emotional for me, but they all came up to me and gave me a huge hug after, which was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's so needed to. I mean, it takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes can.
Yeah, but you know what? We
the course of somebody's life.
And everybody, the more you serve, the more people that need serving.
Oh, say that to yeah,
yeah. It doesn't end. Always. So when people know you're a good commodity, they're gonna come out of the woodwork. But those are.
But sometimes you have to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Because so this is a good time during the holidays for me.
For me, and this is a big indicator for me. But before I even say the indicator, I just wanted to see what Mimi shared. She said, "Yes, I get people from around the world
Yeah.
messaging me now, asking for help, all because I share my own journey. That's so true. And this is where I know that I need to take care of myself. Maybe my reaction is not the best, but it's a bit of a gauge for me. But you're right. When we do what we do and we lead or run communities or provide platforms and opportunities for people and things like that, sometimes there's moments where I know personally for me where this is where I know I'm exhausted
Hmm.
or I don't have the energy. It's when I get upset about it. Like I get really like, oh, nobody's checking up on me. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh, wait, stop right there.
Well,
Time for
yeah,
self care. Stop right there.
absolutely.
Time for self care.
Yes, and sometimes, and this is why I really encourage the viewers, listeners, whether you're live or on replay, surround yourself with good people,
Hmm.
but also make sure you take that time for yourself. As I say, there's like race car drivers, like you have the Indianapolis 500, and it's 500 laps around a racetrack. How many drivers finish on one tank of gas?
Hmm.
None of them. They have to go in, get their pit stop, get their oil change, etc. And it's time for themselves. But a lot of times you see there's other people helping them finish the race,
Yep. Yeah.
right?
Because in the way we are as human beings, we're not meant to be doing it alone. We're not structured that way. We have not
Hey,
grown that way.
so Shirley, were you born on the Flintstones?
No.
Okay, so it took two people. It took two people to get us here. No one brought the store. The store didn't deliver me. It took two people. Last I checked.
Yeah.
Why am I trying to do it all myself? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Minnie said, yes, I'm holding audiences of good people for my community chosen family. Then there'll be a probation period. I like that. I like that. Probation period. Because that is
I like
needed.
that.
That's like
That's
a
cool.
time for you.
That's cool. I like that probation period. That's really
Yeah, I'm going to use that. Probation period. I like that.
well. You know what? And
And it goes back to like, well, that probation period. What do
oh,
you do to
gotta put this
recharge?
person up. Just Toronado. Yes, yes, yes. I subscribe to her YouTube channel, and she subscribes to my family. If you want a lady, I'm gonna say a black queen who provides incredible quotes and inspirations. And she is a Christian, but I don't care. She is so passionate about seeing people score goals and get wins. And I believe, just Tornado, you're on about 3 mornings a week, early in the morning. And I just want to shout you out too. I'm loving the posts you do of quotes. Keep it up. Like I actually used one and gave you a credit with someone the other day. Amazing stuff. So I'm just happy that she's from Texas. Is it Houston or Dallas? I think it's Houston, Texas, but I'm sure she'll
Houston,
comment.
Texas, baby. I can't help it. I have to do
There
that.
she goes. 5 days a week, Monday to Friday at 5:30 a.m. Central Time, which is 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Great.
Pulling,
I mean, and I gotta make sure. And if I don't catch them live, I catch the replays. And she's really upping her game in regards to like community posts on YouTube. I like those. Those are good stuff.
there's a channel right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, family, absolutely. Yeah, and she goes, H Town, don't put me nowhere near Dallas. I love it. Okay.
Well,
All
my
right. I
question
should
was
go
going to
just.
be, pardon me, related to probation that Minnie shared, which I love.
Mhm.
How do you recharge when you're feeling drained, or
Well,
creatively drained or life
I
drained?
find things that I love to do that make me better. Before that, like I have some signs when I know I'm drained. I
What's your sign?
when
Like I shared with me, I start getting angry
it's not angry, but I um
or frustrated. Frustration,
no,
that's the best word
I
for
wouldn't
me.
say frustrated, but I know what I'm my mind is not right when I can't find my car keys,
Mm,
when I can't find my wallet, because those are two, and I can't find my phone. Those three things, if I can't find them, that means I got things going on all around the place. I'm not focusing on those things is I need car. Oh, yeah, I don't need them, but I like to have my car keys. I definitely need my wallet, and what was the other thing? Car keys, wallet. What was the other thing I mentioned? I can't
Car
remember.
keys.
Phone,
Oh, yes.
cell phone. Like, and I'm gonna be honest, your family. I have at least one moment a week where I don't know where my cell phone is. And what's even worse, sometimes I don't always have it on the volume loud. So say, oh, can I call it? Go, it's on silent. Yeah, but yeah, keys, wallet, and phone. When I don't know where those are, I'm saying, okay, there's too many things going on. And then what I do is when I find them, say, take a break.
Yeah.
And say, okay, what is causing me to die? What's distracting me? And and how can I stop it distracting? Do I just need to put it away for a while, or do I just need to action on it and just get it out of the way?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
another thing too, we're not medical experts. We're just sharing our experiences, family. So we're not medical experts. And also too, when I'm also in that funk, I'll reach out to people. I have 3 or 4 good people that are with me when I'm doing like this or when I'm doing like that.
I'm just saying, you know what? I don't lose things. Like I said to you, I get frustrated, and I pick that up, and that's the next step that I do. I start reaching out to people. I start reaching out to people who I feel like are, just kind of like, hey, hey, how's it going? What's going on? What's happening? Just kind of like change the energy, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
really important. It's really important. Yeah, that those are some of the things. So, folks, I'm human too,
Hmm.
right? And I think most of us, if we really want to be honest, we're figuring it out along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that for 2024 for me, it was like super high the first 6 months, and then really low the last, like, you know like super high in terms of like all these opportunities were happening. We launched the Soundwave Summit, which was
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. That's
Um,
congratulations on that. And you in our conversation, you mentioned an event that's coming up. So I want to be part of that, even if in attendance. I'm really excited about that.
yeah, like we're yeah, we
Put
so
it in
we
the comments. Put in the comments. Promo.
yeah,
Promo.
that's what I'm doing now.
Oh,
Comments, comments.
I'll give you another. So I'll give you I guess, a valley in my journey this
Mm,
year.
mm,
At the beginning of this year, I had a major U.S. content creator
mm-hmm.
reach out to me, and he said, "Hey, I'd like to get one of your shows on my platform." And this content creator has on the platform he allowed me to broadcast on. He has over 570,000 YouTube subscribers.
Whoa.
I'm going, and the funny thing is, it happened in a short period of time. It was like a Sunday afternoon. His wife said, "Hey, so and so would like to." No, I was sitting on a Sunday afternoon getting ready for Black Canada Talking, and all of a sudden, I see a notification. Myself, another person, and this gentleman and his wife created an Instagram group. I go, okay, all right, and she said, "Oh, my husband would to my husband would like to know if you and so and so are available to host a conversation at 7 o'clock tonight." Okay, no problem. Within 15 minutes, he sent contracts.
Oh wow.
So he put us on this live. He really bigged us up. He then said, and then I asked, "Hey, do you mind if I put one of my shows on your platform?" No problem. Was going great. Was going great. About two what's up 2.5 about 3 months 2.5 to 3 months later, because if you broadcast on YouTube, he had to give you permission, so I had access, right? I just noticed in my email, "You no longer have access." I go, what? Without any explanation. So
Oh,
I'm contacting him back. No answer, no answer. I just went, I was disappointed, because
Yeah.
this is a person I respect, and the only time I think about it now is when one says like disappointment. I'm just disappointed that I was never given a reason. Funny
Mm-hmm.
thing is,
Mm-hmm.
he has one of his associates, a lady that he's known for a long time, start a conversation similar to the one that I had, and I see them sort of taking some, no, I would say taking, inspired to do some things that I've been doing for a while.
How did that make you? What was your initial
My initial thought,
feeling?
I don't get angry, but I just really
Yeah.
disappointed. I think the thing that, if anything, still disappoints today, just the lack of a reason why you just stopped me. I To this day, it doesn't. It Yeah, I don't think about it anymore. But it took me a while
It
to
took
like
you some
that,
time. Yeah.
because again, it's someone who I really respect, and nothing like. But the funny thing is, I'll come into his
Say
conversation.
their name. Say
No,
their. I'm
no, no,
kidding.
no.
I'm kidding.
Here's
here,
here's
here
the
I am
funny thing.
starting things.
Here's the funny thing that I'll go into his, he does regular content, regular, and periodically I'll come in and he shouts me out.
Yeah, that's
So I'm
annoying.
going, okay. And the funny thing is, I'll jump into his wife's conversation. She shouts me out. So I just said, you know
Mm,
what? So I just said, it took me a while. I just let it go, because another opportunity came up after that to distribute my content, not as a larger platform, but you know, and I'll say what that opportunity was: getting my content. I use the word syndicated now because I got education this morning. Someone gave me a new tagline for the show. Shirley, she goes, "I've been." I said, "The Dr. Vibe Show, created in Canada and syndicated around the world." Hello,
love it. Love it.
you know. So
Hmm.
that's a great content piece. Talking about how to handle being creator ghosted. Someone else out there definitely has that pain. And this, you see, Just Tornado, she always brings so much added value. So George Tornado, I got to reach out to you. We got to have a conversation together because you bring fire. But I love
And
that.
it's yeah, it's happened so many times. Just like yeah,
Yeah.
I've had content creators call me crying because of situations like this. Yeah.
But see, this is why you got to get wide. You got to say, you know what? Uh, you got to make your future bigger than your past.
Hmm.
Right? It's gonna come, it's gonna go. And in this case, I've never got a reason why it's been done. But am I gonna sit and hold on to it? Remember, when we're driving a car, there's a reason why the rear view mirror is small and the front view mirror is wide.
Yeah.
So you've always got to be creating opportunities. You got to get wide because you never know who's going to jump off or who's going to jump on.
Yeah.
So, I that was a difficult period of time for me, content creation wise, but I keep on going. And like I said, Dr. Tachi created her own platform. I provide content on that, and she's had, since she just passed 8 months on Indie Soup Media, just hit 22,000 YouTube subscribers.
That's amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
Dr. Tachi is awesome.
Dr.
Yeah.
Tachi is ridiculous. Actually, promo on the Morning Vibe, 9 a.m. on January 10th. She's going to be on talking about the year in media, tech, and pop culture.
Nice.
And so,
Nice.
those who don't know about Indie Soup Media, subscribe. But Dr. Tachi is a media expert in my mind. She actually has her PhD in communications from Howard University. Choreographer, has experience producing television show pilots, hosts her own content show called Media Scope. Fantastic stuff.
Amazing. Mini
Oh,
share.
I do remember.
Oh, yeah.
One of the other things that happened at 12 hours, and we shared about it yesterday, that a lady who I know, and she publicly shared this, has been a victim of domestic violence twice this year.
Uh, yeah.
So so all those four things happened within 12 hours that I
Oh my
was
goodness. Just before
supposed to.
the end of the year.
Yeah, this was just during the holiday season. So, so one of the things I'm putting it out there, you'll probably, you will see me speaking more about the domestic violence against women in 2025. I was
Yeah.
I was doing a um,
How are you going to approach that conversation? Because we rarely see it from men.
that's why I'm approaching it.
Mm.
So I'm using the credibility I have doing stuff for fathers, dads, and male caregivers with Dove Men Care
Hmm.
to do that,
Okay.
because there's an unlock. Now I've got it. Now it's got to be a careful. I got to be careful because I don't want to rub. But a thing they okay. They also have the Dove brand for women. So hey, to me it's a sweet spot,
Yeah.
right? So, uh, and I'd say in the next few months you'll start seeing some. I've been did about 3 or 4 hours worth of research last night, and I was really going in on research, how to market it, present it, etc. And I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm
Will it
really
be will it be just you? Will you invite
no no
other
no no no.
men?
It won't be just
Will
me.
it be men and women? Like how?
And that's a great question. There's all different ideas I have. I know I'm I'm almost sure that I will, if I won't do it by myself.
Yeah.
Definitely will have at least one lady, if not more than one lady, co-hosting.
Hmm.
Most definitely. The big challenge for me will be seeing if I can get a conversation with men talking about that. That is going to be the big opportunity to do
And
that.
and another thing too is how do you? I mean, I don't know if you're comfortable to answer that question, but
Put it out
sometimes
there.
we tend sometimes we tend to think men, domestic violence on women, but sometimes it's men with other men in their relationship,
Yep.
women
Yep.
with other women in their relationship,
Yep.
and that's not talked about enough. You know.
This is the thing, and there is an organization in Canada called White Ribbon that
Hmm.
address this issue. So I even researched their website. And as I said, as we begin to develop this concept, we're going to be reaching out to them to see if they'd like to have a representative, which if they don't want to have a representative on, that will be very telling. But I'm going with positive expectation, but we're taking small steps. And I think not only when it comes to content creation, but just in personal life, taking the next step, right?
Yeah.
One step at a time is really important. So, like last night, I had all this information. Okay, that was my thing. Do a whole pile of research. Okay, that got done. Go, yeah. So now it's time to just organize it. And the Canadian Center for Women's Empowerment, that was one of the sites I ran into uh, last night. So I know I'm getting off topic. I hope it isn't.
Please.
But I'm just sharing some of my journey. So Shirley, fire away.
I mean, you're the one who has lots of notes.
Well, okay. So, there's content creator stuff and there's non-content creator stuff. So where do you want
Yeah.
to go?
Let's do the non because we tend to focus on as content creators talking about content creators like things like tools you use, monetization and
Okay.
things like that, right? But
Okay.
it's like really about like how do you balance content creating with your personal life?
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw different things out there. One of the things there was a quote I recently read that I wanted to share with people, and it's from a gentleman
Hmm.
named Joshua Becker. And he said, "The first step in crafting the life that you want is to get rid of everything you don't want."
Woo, say that again to the people at the back.
Yes. Quote, "The first step in creating the life that you want is to get rid of of everything you don't want." That's from
And
Joshua
sometimes,
Becker.
and those everythings can that also be people too?
Yep.
Sometimes, unfortunately,
Hey,
and it's sad
no,
that it sucks, but it's the reality.
yeah, and being like many years ago, I had a chance to have a conversation before he appeared in Toronto. Dr. George Fraser, you know who he is because
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
And this is many years ago, and this is another hint too. If you're a content creator and you want to see if you can get a few words with someone that's sharing from a stage or whatever, go early.
Yeah.
So Dr. Fraser was appearing. It was at the North York many years ago, and I went early, and he was there by himself. So him and I did like a 15-minute recording, and one of the things I asked him was, Dr. Fraser, how can Black people move ahead? And he said, Dr. Vibe, probably the easiest way many of our brothers and sisters can move ahead is get rid of the negative people in your life. He said, even if all Black people got rid of 10% of the negative people in their life, could you imagine how much progress we'd have? How much better they'd be to themselves? So, another great story. And the more that I do this stuff, the more stories either for myself or others I can bring through me to share with others. But I think at the beginning of the year, yes, it's goals and all those things, but let's reverse engineer. What don't you want? Right? And then pick one and work on that.
Yeah.
And then after you do that, celebrate it that you did it. So you go into the next thing with positive momentum.
Yeah. I like that you said positive momentum, because sometimes you have people they're good people, they're fine people, but because you are moving forward in momentum in your life or career, it's a bit of a weight to have them with you, because their momentum, it doesn't match where you're going.
Bit of a weight. It is a weight.
It is a weight. And so that's the hardest part, when good people does not match the same momentum as you. And you gotta be like, look, my train is moving. And I've had many of conversations like that. Like, hey, no, just it's not I don't think ill of you. It's not a disrespect thing. It's just my momentum. My train is moving, and my door's open. Hopefully, you'll catch up and you'll be able to hop on. It's never going to be shut down for you, but I'm just letting you know this train ain't stopping. So,
100%. And I think a word that one of my other key words all the time is alignment.
Yeah.
Right? Are those people aligned with your goals, dreams, and desires? And also, are you aligned with their goals, dreams, and desires? Because you don't want it to be one-sided, right?
Yeah.
So alignment. So for those people who drive a car, if you've ever driven a car and the wheels aren't aligned, what happens? You crash.
It's really hard to maneuver.
Yeah,
and it can get dangerous.
Dangerous, like you've got your wheel going one way and the car's going the other way. You don't want it. You want to be in alignment, right? So that's really important. Another quote about
alignment, ambition, and align ambition. I love that. Like that. Minnie.
Yes,
and
nice.
Frequency Event Promotion says, I like what is being shared here.
Well, now we can go on because he approves, right? He is czar, right? He's the czar, right?
Yep.
Another thing about, it's relating to the past, another quote. The purpose is to understand the past in order to move forward.
Ooh, say that again.
The purpose is to understand the past in order to move forward. And that's from a book called Get on the Balcony. Ooh. And they said by Ronald Heifetz. And if I get your name wrong, it's my head, not my heart. And Marty Linsky. And basically they're saying, sometimes you got to go out on the balcony. You got to go out on the balcony and do those things. Another thing I want to share with people there, make the right withdrawals and the right deposits. And I'm not just talking money. There are some things you need to withdraw from, and there's some things you need to put your energy in. Those withdrawals are keeping you from the things you need to put your energy in.
That's real.
Look at this. Locate people that add and multiply to your life. Remove the faults or subtract and divide. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you want people that lift you up and you lift them up. Now the key thing is that's in good times and not good times.
Yeah,
that's the key. Another thing I would say to people: three things you may want to drop. Drop regrets of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
They're done. Most of the time they're done, but they may not be done for now. And again, this is something for content creators. And I experience this too all the time. You have those people who you're reaching out to that aren't answering you.
Yep.
Okay, so here's what I do, just a suggestion. You reach out to them, and again, this is a whole other conversation. First of all, when you're reaching out to someone you haven't reached out to, especially like a company, you want to do something with them, your subject line is critical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make another suggestion. Don't make it more than 4 words long.
Yeah. You're
Right?
talking about like brand stuff, like brand deals, last contact
Brand,
creator, or
like if you want
brand
to collaborate,
connection,
even
or
if you want to, you
collaboration.
know what, if you want to collaborate with a brand deal, or if you want to collaborate with a non-content creator, the subject line is important because that's probably what they read first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you want to do that. Now, the whole content that goes in there, everyone has their own method. I'm not going to get into my method here too deep, but one of the things I do, and I mentioned to Shirley before we came on, I send a video message.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing that during the pandemic when it was really amazing to do, but not enough people are doing it.
That's real.
If you use the right software, guess what happens when they open it? You get notified.
You get notified.
So, but the thing is, hey, you'll reach out to someone and you get ghosted. Now, give them a week and you got to say, I'll follow up with you. Another thing, what your wording says, hey, if I don't hear back from you, I'll follow up with you in a week. If you don't hear back from them, you follow up with them with a different subject line matter, please and thank you. Don't just say following up. No. and you have a different subject line. Hey, if I don't hear back from you within a week, I'll follow up with you. If they don't follow up after 2 times, what I would do is I would say, hey, obviously I hear you're really busy and all that. I'd like to hear from you at your earliest convenience. What I would do with that is I would put them in a 3-month basket. They haven't said no. They haven't followed up. There have been numerous occasions where I've reached out. One of the potential, I've been trying to align. Well, the alignment's there. I've been trying to take it to the next level with a client for a year.
I feel you.
Not even, and I was introduced to them. It's not coming up to you. I was introduced to them in February. Came on, we had a great conversation. Like the next time we chatted, hey, I'm looking to you do this, and this. So how many times does a client say, hey, this is what we'd like you to do? Right? Which is beautiful because you don't want to tell them what you can do. He sung. Then all of a sudden, Young Cam said this, haven't heard from him. Heard from him back, a member of his team that's been there 15 years is leaving. Chaos. Say, hey, no problem. But he says, I love the stuff you do, da-da-da. We did, and I would email him back, wouldn't hear from him. He emails me about 3 weeks ago. We have a live conversation. Not only did someone from his team who was there 15 years left, one of the members of his team committed suicide.
Ooh. Oh gosh.
So you know what? I call those Care Bear conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What kind of person is say, hey, we're gonna do a deal? Come on now. Hello?
It's like, no, let's
come on.
Yeah. Checkup time. Human time.
Right.
Human
So
conversation.
he made time for me and amongst the stuff that his team and department is going through. He has not said no. I understand what he's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
The man has a really responsible position. He's married and he has 4 adopted kids.
Wow.
Relationships are everything.
It really does. People remember how you make them feel.
Yeah. And at the beginning, I said, yeah, we're going to do this. I said, no, you know what? This is just. And then the last time we were together, my intuition, got that from the coaching world, intuition, because he said, I actually gave him questions. Like, I asked him, I just said, hey, where was the majority of your time spent this year in your position? And it almost became like a coaching session. That was but he really appreciated it. And then one of the events I went to this year was a presentation about EI and AI. Amazing presentation. And I recorded it via my iPad. And I said, you know what? This gentleman wants to do personal development, all that. So I showed him 15 minutes of this. He goes, man, I'm never going to let go of you. Right? So it's gone the past. If something business-wise comes out of it, that'd be a bonus. But we just enjoy our conversations together. And it just makes him better, makes me better. It's going to come up to a year that we had our initial conversation, and I was introduced to him by someone else who I'd never met before, who introduced me to like 7 members of her team. So it's a process, everybody.
It really is. It took me 2 years to get CBC to do something with me when I was in Montreal, but it was constant. And she was even the producer was like, please don't stop getting back to me. It's just the timing. 2 years where they finally made like a Valentine's Day segment and thought about us as a couple for Valentine's Day, which helped, bring attention for our podcast at the time. But it was 2 years relationship of like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I see this is going on. And, and then eventually doing that led to being invited to be part of like, kind of like a media research thing that they were doing at CBC. So, but that was like 2 years of relationship building.
So again, whether it's content creators or non-content creators, my suggestion is learn from your missed opportunities, but don't regret your missed opportunities. Learn from them.
Yeah.
Learn from
what Just Toronado is saying. Sometimes it's not until we are moving intentionally in the present that we understand the things in the past and how we are to use them as stepping stones.
Come on, Just Tornado. Come on. This is what I'm telling you. Like, come on now. She always brings another lens of beauty and thought. Like, haven't known you for a long time, but just beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah, she always inspires. She's always inspiring. Always inspiring. Another thing I want people to drop: forget your past mistakes.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Learn from those mistakes are the best lessons, and that's what creates for a lot of people the fear to actually take the step because they're so afraid to make a mistake. But there's such a beauty in mistakes because the amount of experience you're going to gain.
Yeah. Like I say, a mistake is a moment. It's not a person.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's really letting go is a hard thing for many people. I've known Dr. Vibe for years, and now I'm a guest on his podcast. Sometimes need to be aligned. Yeah. And the funny thing is, Minnie and I knew each other, but we didn't communicate a lot. And all of a sudden, at the right time, said, Minnie, why don't you come on? Come on, Minnie. Come on now. And Minnie's on every month, and she does a fantastic job. And especially from a Black content disabled creators lens, I don't see a lot of people doing that on a regular basis. Just Tornado says, hey, Ryan Perez, long time no chat. And congratulations on all your subscriber growth. And always, Ryan's going to know I say this. How's your son doing, Ryan? Okay. And George Tornado says, look at this. Come on now. Come on. Mistakes corrected become wisdom. Come on, Just Tornado.
I like that part. The key word, mistakes corrected.
Corrected become wisdom. Don't forget them. Use them to plant a seed for others to grow. Come on now, Just Tornado. Come on. Preach. She's a fire. But, that's the thing. And I'm going to suggest then people open your hands and your hearts to healthy lifestyle choices. And I'm not just talking about food and exercise. I'm also talking about your mind and your spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Ryan says, he is big. Thank you, Dr. Vibe. And he says, happy belated birthday, Shirley.
Oh, thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah. And, healthy lifestyle choices, not just what you eat, but how you think. Here's a big lifestyle choice. Are you getting at least 7 hours of sleep each night?
Yo, that's real. I'm learning at my age, like when you get to your 40s,
Yeah, right.
45
Right.
plus,
Do you
50.
drink water? Do you drink,
What?
like, I drink 4 or 5 of these a
Water is
day.
life. Yep. Yep.
And also too, again, this is one of the things I do, and I'm blessed because I work at home or from home and at home. I make sure I take 15 minutes of quiet time every day. 15 minutes and I'm got to the point now when I'm driving, I don't turn on the radio. I don't turn on anything. Just quiet. Because a lot of things I'm hearing on the radio are not good for the soul. So I just turn it off, quiet.
And he said, if you are not sleeping well, get a sleep study done by
100%.
Dr. Hanji. Yeah, that's real.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Because hey, last I checked, you're only going around once, family.
Yeah. And then he said, in 2024, I found out I have sleep apnea where I stop breathing for 10 seconds 30 times in my night. Oh,
Yeah. See? And again, take care of your health. Your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. People are going to, and I say this a lot now, I go to my doctor every month. Not because I'm in bad health, but for a few reasons. First of all, there's a number of illnesses that my dad has overcome that he doesn't want me to get. So he's always been on the proactive.
okay.
And it's so bad that when I leave my doctor, before I leave my doctor, actually before I go see him, when I arrive at his office, I've already booked my next appointment.
Wow.
And another thing too is, who knows what's going to happen in this country, but people watching the United States, you know what health system can get to.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
taking advantage of it as I can.
Especially us living in Ontario. Oh, yeah.
Right. So that's really important. And all I'm just suggesting people, what's one thing you can do? I don't care just one thing. It all starts
go
with
for walks. Walks is huge for me.
There you go. Go for a walk.
Nature. Yeah.
Here's another good one for people. Open your hands and hearts to, and this can be a challenging thing, to responses. And what I mean by that is we're living in a world these days that is challenging, in many ways divided. So, but you should let people respond. You don't have to agree with what they say, but let them respond. Give them respect to responding and also handling it. Right? So if you don't agree with someone, there's a way you can handle it. You can say, hey, you know what? You can say, well, you were on crack. You're a jerk and all this. Or say, look, I appreciate what you've said, but I don't agree with you. I appreciate what you said. Don't agree with you. Fine. Or you can give the response, I'm going to bless you and leave you.
Yeah. This is a new thing I've been saying. It's not part of my ministry. You know? But yeah, do you? Ryan says, taking care of your mental health first. Recently diagnosed with autism. I have to live a completely different life now.
So Ryan, can you reach out to me? I need to have you on the show. It's been a long time.
First of all, you guys, you have to. It's been a while. You're not. I don't know why, but you used to come up in my feed on TikTok a whole lot, and Ryan does amazing content on TikTok. About his discovering mental health and being, having autism and everything like that. And it's just really, really amazing stuff.
So Ryan, we need
all of that. Yeah.
I need to have him come on for a number of reasons. First of all, he's a good human being. Second of all, he's a good black man. Second of all, he's an honest black man, because Ryan don't hold back. Second of all, you're overcoming health challenges that a number of people who look like us, especially a number of men, black men, they keep it quiet.
Yeah.
So
because masking, in whether it's in any form of neurodivergency, is huge. And
there's not enough conversations about it in the black environment. There isn't. There isn't. And Ryan, we need you. You've always been sharing your story, but I need you to share it on my platform because people need to hear it. And I'm at the point now, people say, I'm just going to bring whoever I want up. And I know what my audience is about too. And this is, we have to realize how important health is as a Black person. There are so many things that we don't even know about that we are prone to having. Right? So really, really, really important that we have these conversations. And the only way we're going to move ahead is we got to have those tough conversations. Right? We have to have those. So Ryan, I'll see. I'm pretty sure I remember what you're on Instagram. Within the next 24 hours, I'll send you a message. We have a catch-up conversation. I need you to come on and do this, do this, do this, do this. We got to do this. And this is what I'm saying. We just got to have people share their stories. Right?
Yeah.
We just got to have them share their stories. And, you know, the power of storytelling, right? Right?
Absolutely. This is if everybody got Ryan's Instagram right here.
But yeah,
find me on Instagram.
those are some of another thing, live a hopeful and grateful life. So have hope and be grateful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have hope and be grateful. I think, and again, these just don't apply to content creators. Apply to human beings, right? As I said before, we were content creators. We are human beings. You know, if you're not careful, life will kill you.
Yeah, that's so real.
You know,
catches up.
Yeah, it's it's not easy, and it's very what as Dean services the Muslim disabled community. Like I said, all these places, send them to me, and I'll ask them if they want to come on. I will love to have them come on, big time. Here's another thing, I got ghosted. My cohort for the Morning Vibe, Ryan O'Neill Knight, sent an email to a very prominent Black Canadian content creator. Very prominent. Very prominent. So people may guess who it is, but I'm not going to go there. And he actually was speaking with this person on the Saturday and said, hey, and they were chatting, says, I'd love you to come on the Morning Vibe and share some of your story. It was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him an email and just say, looking to hear back from you in the subject line, and see if he responds. But I think, I think in the content creation world, we always see the importance of following up and following through, but we have to follow up and follow through on ourselves.
Yep.
Right? Yep. We have to follow up. And I'm just talking from a content creator's lens. I'm talking about just on our lens. You know, are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking those breaks? Are you following up on your health? Are you following up on your mental health? Are you following your emotions?
Are you brave enough to talk about it?
Well, that's the thing.
With yourself, and then hopefully, if it's too much, getting the help that you need.
Yeah. Like, you know, do you have, if something went hiccup at 2:00 in the morning, is there someone you could contact?
Mm-hmm.
Who, if you contact them, and not by text, by phone,
they pick up.
And that's one part they pick up. The second part is, how are they going to answer? You could get the answer, what are you bugging me for, man? It's 3:00 in the morning. Or they could say, hey, where do you need me? Where do you need me? Right? So people, like, so whenever I meet someone new, I put their details in my phone. So I know if they're calling me, I know who it is. Thank you, Frequency Event Promotions. You got an event coming up in January with Chris, Beth, Cowie.
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah. So looking to hear about that. All the best, FEP. Yeah. So these are some of the
All the best.
things. And I think one of the key things I also say is just giving yourself grace is really important. Just giving yourself grace is really,
Yeah.
really important.
That's the biggest energy for me for 2025 is really giving myself grace. You
Oh, so
know.
someone said they just seen this now. I'm still on. Oh, I didn't pay attention. Yeah, but yeah, giving, managing your one. It's one thing to manage your time. For me, it's more important to manage your energy.
Mhm.
Managing your energy is so important these days. So I really want to emphasize taking care of yourself. Sometimes you need to do a checkup from the neck up.
A check. I like that. This is a T-shirt. A checkup from the neck up. I like that.
A checkup and have the people in your environment that you can lean in on. Ripers Shirley is famous out in these streets. Someone the other day
Yeah.
was, we have Black Canadian Condors. I'm like, duh, if I know Black
What?
I said, duh. But yeah, I
I
really,
guess I honestly, Ryan, and I know I've kind of that was one of the things I've been hearing that a lot, but I don't. It's hard for me to. It's like it's nice. I
but
think the but is the challenge for me is that I know people are aware that it exists in this space, but I think it's hard for me at the same time because our community, honestly, needs to be a little bit more engaging, and I don't see the engagement in my Facebook group. I don't see the engagement in my comments. So I'm one of the biggest challenge for me last year in 2024. I was really considering. I have moments where it's like I was considering to just not continue and not do it anymore, and maybe see. I don't know, just kind of drop everything because I was like, okay, I know people say that they've heard about the community. People say that they know what I'm doing, but I don't see the engagements in my Facebook, in my Instagram comments. I
yeah,
don't see the participation in the Facebook group, and I went through, and I think it came from also from a space of grief. I know that that energy that I had came from a space of like me losing my mother this year, and then my cat of 17 years. So I was really considering to just forget it. Just I'll just focus on my podcast, focus on my thing. Forget the community because the community ain't showing some participation and love, and but then I don't know, something in the back of my head I was like,
but
no, don't
so
don't
let me
stop.
interject. Let me interject the time when you were feeling like that. What kept you going?
Um, it's funny. When my mother passed away, literally like once the once we've had her funeral, because we literally had her funeral like a month or two. So like a couple of weeks after her funeral, things were interesting. She's definitely doing the work and looking out for me. Like she's like, I see what you're doing. Like I didn't like my mom didn't know what I was doing, but I feel like now she's like, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, I got you. And that honestly has kept me going.
Yeah, that this is again whether they're with us physically or not with us physically, that
Hmm.
inspiration can be so big and powerful. I also want to share with people it's bigger than you.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. There's a constant voice that's like, nope, nope. No, just trust the process. Just keep going. Like just trust the process. Yeah.
It's one of those, when I was early in these streets of doing what I allegedly do, my dad would say, "What's this thing you're doing?"
Yeah,
Right?
my mom too.
What's this thing you're doing? Right?
Yep, yep.
And so there are two things that happened in that journey. One, I sat him down and I created a presentation to him. This is what I do.
Mm.
And then one day he said, "That was a good show you did the other day." I go, "Really?" He says, so I'm going, okay, so he's watching me. He's
Yeah.
watching me. And um, but yeah, and it's, and not only in content creation, but just things in life. When, for many of us, getting our families or loved ones approve is the greatest feeling in the world. But
Yeah.
when they're not approving, it can be some of the most challenging feelings in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I'm just talking about life here. I'm not talking about content creation, which is better
Yeah,
life, right?
anything.
So
Yep.
all those things, um, and also being honest with yourself. There are some people that
Ooh.
when my closest guy friend, who's my closest business over and closest my guy friend, he went away for about 3 weeks to Jamaica with him and his
Mm-hmm.
family, which was wonderful and all that. And he came back on Saturday, said, I'll follow up with you. I'll get back to you on Sunday. And when he called me on Sunday, what is the first thing I think I told him?
What was the first thing?
I told him I missed him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I miss you too, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But my, because we chat all the time, and not having that conversation with him for that period of time showed me how much I value him. And I told him that.
Wow. What
So,
did he say? Was he quiet? Did he say anything back? Like,
oh yeah, he no, we're like a lot of we're twin sons of different mothers, right? So it's it was just me. And there are never get so proud to tell someone honestly that you miss them. I'm just putting it out there. Never, that there are people in your life, unless you're a total loner, that add value to your life. Tell them that.
that's so true. I like what Ryan's saying. It's yeah, yeah. Telling them that is, I find like getting older, it's something that I'm learning to say that to my friends and family more and more. Ryan says it's all about maintaining consistency and enjoying yourself and not trying to entertain folks who don't engage. People who are unlikely to support are likely to hurt. That's real because that was one of the things in 2024. Like we're talking about what reflection. I had to reflect on some of my friendships because, someone I thought was, I mean, yeah, it's still for
Yeah,
debate, of a
yeah,
friend who was always in my ear, and it hurt to hear someone that I thought, who's also creative, to constantly tell you, why are you doing this? Oh, look, I'm in your group and I don't see people engage. Why do you bother? Black people don't care. Black Canadian co- co- content creators don't care. You just need to do your own thing. Don't do anything for that community. Just do your own thing. And it just never sat well with me. Someone saying that is just, I was like, it's again, it's not part of my ministry.
right. Like, it's so important. And I see Ryan and Minnie are on fire as usual. Um, yeah, there's so much. I can't emphasize enough. People have, if they really can do it, have an accountability partner. I can't emphasize how important that is.
And that's what made me realize with that kind of thinking of that I was thought was a friend. It made me shift and look at really, because I think it's the way I grew up and the people pleasing. I'm a recovering people pleaser,
Hmm.
and I tend to always I saw the pattern of focusing on people who was like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and it pulled me away from people who really like physically supports me and physically been there for me and are really wanting me to win as much as I want them to win as well. I was finding myself realizing like why am I obsessing over people who really like
Hey,
everything they're saying is they don't care, and it's
one
pulling me away from the people who are actually like right in front of me showing
hundred
up and
percent,
saying that they care, you
hundred
know.
hundred. That is such a huge nugget right there. That as my closest business associate says when I sometimes go, he says, "Why aren't these people calling back?" He says, "You're not a priority to them. If you are a priority, they get back to you." Enough said. And again, also too,
That's real.
when that and he's a person, he'll tell me when I'm doing great and he'll chew me out when he doesn't think I'm doing the right thing. He said, "You're not a priority." And as I tell, as I and but so those people say, I say I don't have time. And I want to share with people too. No is a complete sentence. Okay, don't if you can't do it, just say I can't do it. No is a complete, and they keep on saying no. No is a complete sentence. Everyone walks through the world differently, right? You
Yeah.
one of the reasons why one of the Mignon, Ryan goes, I was homeless for a year. Oh, and let me go. Many people, Mignon said, but many people tell me help people without discipline is the waste. No, it's not. Maybe the people are saying it are the waste, right? And Ryan says I was homeless for 1 year. Less than 100 people helped me get out of 40,000. I'd
Get
rather
out
have
of $40,000. I'm guessing. Yeah, I remember a debt. I would rather have 100 followers who show solidarity than people who consume. 100%. I
facts.
remember I remember seeing your post on TikTok, and gosh, and I remember like I felt helpless because I was like I want to help, but like going through struggles myself. We were really struggling, like
Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah,
that
2024 there was a struggle, and
no, but thing you
but
want
I was like one way that I can help is like let me just keep liking his stuff and commenting and interacting on this
hey,
TikTok to help it like so more people
it's
can
it's the
see.
little things. It's the little things
Yeah,
that make a difference, right?
yeah,
Like that's you see that's getting back to what I'm for content creators. That's why I have people helping me so I can give my best to myself and give my best to others because I'm getting my time back and I'm able to take care of myself, right? As best as I possibly can. But I also have relations with people that will help me be the best I can be because like I can be that. Like it's like here's a challenge for your content creators. Most of them have a to-do list. My challenge to them is do you have a to learn list? If you're not, just in my lens, if you're not learning, you're not growing.
period and point blank.
Right? So whether it's about content creation or what are you learning about yourself? Right? And here's a general question for everybody on here. In 2024, was there a decision that you made that you'd like to have back?
Mm, mm, it's a good question.
Right? Now, some people will answer say, "No, I learned from everything, no problem." But other people will think, "Say, yeah, I would have liked." And when they say that, I will say, "Okay, if you had that opportunity again, what would you do different? And what did you learn from that wanting that, and what would you do different if it comes again next time?"
Even better, you should say, what did you learn and how do you move different?
Yep, good. Very good add-on.
Yeah.
Right? Very good add-on. You know, I'd also ask everyone here is what are the two, well, there's business wise. Okay, so I'll put this in two phrases. What are for our content creators, what are the two things you need to do in the next 6 months to move your efforts forward? And then finally, what is the one thing you need to do that will help you move forward personally and business wise in the next 6 months? The reason why I asked those, the real power woman has arrived now. Fitness IQ Cam. Watch out. Watch out, Fitness IQ Cam has come to dominate the airwaves. And there's another uh, individual who's gone through a lot of challenges this year with her father being in the hospital. Well, you know, but again, she reaches out and I check in on her like to make sure she's doing okay. And I appreciate that she reaches out to me because she goes, oh boy. But, but yeah, so it's all about the relationships, family, really and
It
truly.
really is.
But and you
And it
wanted to
doesn't matter how much money or how little.
no, no.
I'm learning that so much. Doesn't
What
matter the
we
class you're in. It's all about like people want to be seen. People want to be
heard
heard. People want to be validated. People want to.
value,
You know what
value.
the greatest thing you could do to a human being is just acknowledge their existence.
Oh no, Fitness I Cam. Is that true? You appreciate me? Oh my goodness. Ryan says I need to find an underwriter for my content. Well,
In the
there's
next 6 months. Okay, people out there, let's put it out there. If you know anybody,
reach to me offline. I if I don't know one off the top of my alleged mind, there's people in my I don't use the word community. I say I was told by someone, Dr. Vibe, you have a constellation, you don't have a community. So so just Tornado, for me, it's learning Final Cut Pro for this quarter. Oh, I've never learned Final Cut Pro. And that's another thing. It's funny. Earlier on this year, people were raging about CapCut. You don't hear it much anymore. Why? Because a lot of things they were offering free at the beginning, they're not offering free anymore.
yeah,
The
yeah.
cap, the things have churned and turned for CapCut. But I'm blessed. I don't do video editing now, so I'm good. I'm good. But
You like Dr. Vibe? Find find your local college and university, build a relationship with the professor or teacher, and yeah, get some interns.
yeah, so Mini Fitness IQ says, "Hey, Mini on Cam, they know each other, and that's the thing. They got to meet. Mini on Cam says, I think Final Cut Pro is an Ecamm community thing. I'm happy with Microsoft Clipchamp. Woo! Man, if I did everything through Mac or Apple products, I would use Ecamm, but I'm not a Mac ecosystem guy, not fully. I'm still using CapCut. I want to become crippled, not remembering how to do it myself. I don't mind CapCut, but it's funny because when you do, I started doing, they were releasing newer versions. And with their newer versions, they don't tell you this, but they start taking away the free stuff. So on this computer I have right now, still run an old version of CapCut from years ago because I know once I do their update, it's gone.
100%. That's real.
So be where I also use, man, I haven't heard that in a while. Move AI. Wow.
Whoa.
I haven't heard
We're both like, whoa.
I haven't used that in a minute. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
That's well, you know what you need to do, Minnie? You need to do a video on how to use it because I don't know how many there are out there. Yeah,
Okay.
editing. I editing. I
I know.
bless the editors.
I can do it. I can like, but it's not my. I realize like you gotta like. I have a friend who loves video editing. It's like it's natural for her, He loves it. I'm like, this is great. Okay,
Oh,
well, if you
well,
love it
those,
that much,
yeah,
then we
yeah,
need to
man.
have a conversation.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
how
those
do I
people
pay you for this?
forever.
Find those
Yes.
people.
Hey, that's what I have. I have people who work with me who love doing that. I love to just give it to them. Bam, done, over, shot. Let me see some. I have some thoughts here for your content creators.
Well, we're already at like we've been at it. I know
Yeah,
we.
you want us to go for an hour, but we need to do a
Yeah, I
part two
wanted to go
then.
an hour, hour and a half max. We're probably gonna have to do a part two.
The part two, most of the stuff was just general stuff, but I have some notes here specifically for Black Canadian content creators under four areas. One, acknowledging our struggles and triumphs.
Mm.
Two, building a strong foundation for 2025. Three, small tangible steps for an intentional year. Four, inspiring a vision for the future. And can I add these last few things?
Yeah, go
These
for it.
is a combo. Most can be combo content creators and just general public. Things
Yeah,
you need to get rid of. People pleasing tendencies that drain your energy. We talked a little bit about that tonight.
yeah, yeah.
Next up, unhealthy attachment to social media.
Mm.
I think most of these apps, you can put a time limit when you're on how long you're on the app. You should
Mhm.
use it. Next, the comparison trap.
Oh, that's I suffer a lot from that. I mean, I've learned how much it affected me back in 2023 because this is what I do, right? I look at so many content creators and to figure out, okay, who do I share today? What's a content creator that I have to share that I want to share in my on my platform? But it caused me, I realized in 2023, like that I'm comparing a lot. And it caused me for me not to do stuff like this where it's like I feel like, oh, I have to have a full production and a full beat face and that kind of thing. And it was stopping me from doing impromptu like conversations like this.
Yep, yep. No,
So I thought,
like
I realized in 2023, I was suffering so much from comparing myself from so many what I would consider content creators that were bigger than me. And you know what my wake up call when it happened, and shout out to Alex for doing this with me, is back in May. You were there actually at the sound
so
the
it's somebody.
soulful bites that we did in May
Yep,
2023.
yep.
That was a game that really helped me get out of it because I realized there were some content creators that were there that were like, I mean, they have like 250,000 followers, like huge followers. They're on TV, da 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 da, and they showed up. And I remember asking them, like, I was like, not only thankful they were here, but I was like, literally asking them, why are you here? Because here's this little itty bitty thing that I'm doing that we're, Alex and I, shout out Alex from Hustle Over Everything. And they're like, well, it's because it's needed. And because they were like, I usually go in spaces and I get invited to all these things, but I never see a room full of black content creators, let alone here in the city or Canada together
Yeah.
and you know exchanging ideas and interacting with one another. And that
Mm-hmm.
was huge for me. I was like, you know what? It made me realize like no matter how big a person is public publicly, we
They're
our
just
community
human
needs
beings.
community and people
They're,
just
they're,
want to
they're just
connect
human
and be
beings. They eat, sleep.
yeah.
I had a moment like that very early in my journey at Pod. Well, it came out of Pod Camp, which I haven't been to a few years. I just saw they're selling tickets again. I think I got to make myself down there this year. I have a proposal to do a sharing session there, but I had met some. This was really crazy. It was one of the early days of Pod Camp. I went and actually, and I've got him many years ago. I actually had an article written about me in the Globe and Mail and how it came up. I was at Pod Camp and I don't remember how this happened, but there was a gentleman named Mark. She used to write for the Globe and Mail. I can't remember his last name. And we started chatting, and he said, "Hey, do you got time for an interview?" I go, "What?" Like Globe and Mail, for those who live outside of Canada, it's like one of Canada's biggest newspapers, national newspaper. And we sat down, great conversation, half an hour. And he was running, at that time, he was running a yearly event with content creators and social media. I couldn't afford to go, but someone said to me, why don't you volunteer? I said, wow, okay. So I was volunteering at the event. What's the guy's name? Mark. It's gonna bug me. Can't remember his last name. And there was a time during the day that was doing my volunteering finish, and there was a bunch of people up on the stage. Big names at that time. Da 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 da. And he said, Marcos, how are you enjoying your day? So I'm enjoying volunteering, all that, but I wish I was up on that stage. He says, Dr. Vibe, you know 80% of what they know already. So whether it's in life or content creation, a lot of times you don't have to have everything. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
go
true.
with what you have.
That's so true.
go, and I'm talking not just content, just even in real life. I remember a few years ago, I was collaborating with a lady who we were wanting to do something in the fatherhood space. And once she saw, I shared with her what I do, and she goes, wow, you know, prepare this presentation, this, that, and other thing. I said, okay. And she says, is it ready yet? I was supposed to have it for a certain date. He's ready. Said, well, it's about 60% done. Just show it to me. She says, this is more than what I needed. Bang. so you know, realize, is it and I share this question sometimes, is it better to be perfect and late or good and on time?
I have, yeah, good and on time, and I'm not saying that like it's from experience. Good and on time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
good and on time for sure. Minnie
so
shared. I thought this was very interesting what she shared here. Yes, comparison happened out of working in the adult business. So it's a constant thing I work on. That industry makes you feel less than all the time. When I've been in it for 22 years, I'm the OG of it. When I went to Arizona for an internet marketing event, we had 200 Black digital marketers. That pic is on my Facebook.
nice.
The hardest part is not interrupting the experts when you are the experts. I like that. And then the 80-20 rule.
So two more things, because I know Shirley needs to get some water, get some rest. We talked about
Yes.
the comparison trap, procrastination habits.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a quick suggestion. First of all, none of us were born procrastinators. Okay, good stuff. Second of all, many people suffer from it periodic and throughout their lives. So don't think again that you're the only one. When we're in procrastination phase, a lot of, and our mind will tell us, what happens if you don't do it? You think, oh, I'm not doing it. I don't. Stop shouting. Fitness IQ goes, stop shouting at me. Okay. But, and all of us go through it. But why don't you start thinking, what happens if I do it? What happens if I do it? Perfect example. As I said early on, got this message from a major corporation, a guy who's a senior vice president reached out to me from LinkedIn. I didn't know who the guy was. And I procrastinated sending a message. And part of it was holiday. I don't know if he's been looking at, but no, I should have just sent it regardless, followed up with him. I sent the video message introduction today. Felt good. I've done
Baby steps. Yeah. What's
something.
yeah?
And
What's that one thing that you can do, even if yeah?
one thing. And then the next part is, who wins when you do it? Most of the time it's going to be you and somebody else, at least that. And then finally celebrate it. So procrastination. And then finally, negative self-talk patterns,
Yeah.
right? We need to realize that when we say something, the first person that says it is ourselves. The person,
Yeah.
first person who hears it, my correction, hears it is yourself. So either you're adding, by what you're saying, you're either adding light to your life or darkness to your life.
Period.
And also,
And,
too, who wants to be around a person who has negative self-talk?
right. Like what exactly? So when you say these negative things about yourself, that's how I overcome stopping to do that or to stop myself in those moments is to
Yeah,
think like if I was outside of myself or if I could hear me or say that to someone else, if I repeated what I just repeated to myself to somebody else,
there you go.
that would not be acceptable.
See, look at this.
Yeah.
I like this. Mignon Cam. What if can be positive or negative? Well, it can be, but I'm talking so that you did it. It's not you got it done. After you, and I get to, oh, here's another thing too. Oh boy. Don't make your outcomes. No, don't let your actions determine the outcomes. So when you do something, it's done. And a lot, if you're doing something for somebody else, it's out of your control. So don't let the outcomes don't let your actions determine the outcomes. Sorry. The actions, you're done, it's finished, it moves on. Where many of us throughout that we're so hold on to this thing, you got no control. You've done your part in the process is done. Right?
Period.
Right? So Just Tornado says focus on the pot. Oh, Maniac is focus on the pot of what if. Yes. Just Tornado says each delay chips away at opportunities meant for today. Start small. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Just Tornado. Minion Camp says we mastery and urgency. All notes from my growth day sessions. She says Dr. Vibe is repeating my notes I have from attending Brendan Brouchard's growth day kickoff 2-hour event. I didn't go to that event, so and okay. And here's another thing I want to share for the people that are in right now live on a scale of 0, meaning you're absolutely low, to 5, you're on fire. How are you feeling right now about 2025? I'll give a few people, and there's some people here, so whoever, we'll give maybe about 30 seconds. How are you feeling right now about 2025 from a scale of 0 to 5?
The scale is 10 is the highest, right?
Oh, no, okay, so 1 to 10. There's a 9.5.
Okay, okay.
So Minion Cam, is that based on out of 10? Okay, Just Tornado at 10, 2.5. You're so many Fitness IQ Cam. Was that based on the out of 5 or out of 10? Okay, she says a 5. Okay. The nice thing of okay, Black 8.5. Okay. Let me address the 5 first. Fitness IQ Cam. No worries. You have room. You're gonna go up the scale. Now, the Black Queens who say 10, 8.5, 9.5, 8.5, that's just for today.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's I have a feeling it's going to shift. And there's going to be a dip.
That's life. Peaks and valleys.
So just realize many of us start the year on fire. They're going to be the dips. And be prepared for the dips. And the key will be, what do you do during those dips?
Don't lose hopes during those dips.
Right?
Find someone that you trust that you know will answer that
Yeah,
phone.
that's a thing. Yeah, the 8.5s, 9s, yeah, that's great. I'll check in a week. Right? Shirley just says 10, very optimistic, good. Fitness IQ says, thanks, Shirley. What is up, Shirley? What's going on? So good to see you.
First of all, this is the first time I've run into someone who spells Shirley the same way that I do.
Exactly.
That's wild. We
Exactly.
are Shirley sisters.
There you go. Finance IQ says, thank you. Absolutely. Just Tornado says, exactly. I live for today with hopes for tomorrow, but I don't worry about the things I can't control. Tomorrow I may be a 5, but tomorrow will take care of itself. Come on now.
Period.
Come on, Just Tornado.
Just period tornado.
So I'm gonna go on your YouTube page and give you my email address. We gotta have a, as we say, a session. Just Tornado. I need to introduce you to some of my people in Constellation. You can put some latitude in their attitude. Just Tornado, and get them to help them make a U-turn. That's fire. Bring in the heat. Just Tornado.
Dr. Vibe, we're gonna wrap it up. What is coming up for you in 2025? What's going on? Where can people? What's happening and where can people?
Oh, I gotta put my contact information in the comment. All right, so I'm gonna put my email address. I never did that throughout this conversation, but someone said I'm very Googleicious. So if you put in dr.vibe, okay, this is my email address. Probably the best way to get a hold of me is via email. On Instagram, because I'm getting there, but this is on the Instagram. And another thing too, one of my gentlemen I respect, I like to give good phone. And people can say, what do you mean? Well, I like to have either verbal or visual interaction with people. Now, I know it isn't always possible, but as someone told me a long time ago, it says, if it involves facts, text or email is good. But if it involves emotion, you at least want to do either phone call or video call. Okay. And that's not just content creator. That's general everyday life for me. Like, I love to call and talk with people. I really if it's just facts, yeah, I'm good. But I love having conversations with people. I absolutely love that because I'm going to learn and grow through it. And what I learn and grow, I can share with other people. Right?
It's so old school of you. I'm kidding. No, I love it.
No, but and also too, yeah, and also for the content creators, learn the gift of storytelling. Mm-hmm. Because not only it'll help you in your content creation, it will help you with your engagement with your audience. Good storytelling. Also, if you want to really get good at sales, storytelling. Mm-hmm. But also too, from my lens, be a better listener than storyteller.
Yeah.
People appreciate it. So what else coming up this year? Because I'm so long-winded these days, but a lot of people don't ask me to come on their platform. This is probably why. But I like to share. There will be at least another new show coming up in the quarter. Mm-hmm. I would like the opportunity. Well, I think I'm going to have more sharing engagements, and also getting wide. And we didn't even talk about, but then can we, if we're able to do this for content creators, I really want them to diversify themselves.
Okay.
Like if you're a content, like I host live conversations. Yes. I also coach. I also do engagements with organizations. I want people to start thinking bigger. Don't let other people define you. Oh, Dr. Vibe, you host online shows. Yeah, but I also do engagements, public speaking. I also do just assisting people in the entrepreneur space. If you let yourself be pigeonholed, there's nothing wrong, but all you're going to be is a pigeon. Mm-hmm. And also, if you're up to it, put yourself in new environments.
All the time.
Right? If you're not, like, I'm a testimonial of it. When I started this online journey, no one in Black Canada was paying attention. It was so tough to get people out. So I said, you know what? I can either quit or I can go where I'm loved. That is why a third of my audience is in the United States.
I
That is
feel you.
right. So
Yeah, no, it's the same
go,
with me. Yeah.
go where you are loved. We have a challenge, a number of Black individuals in this country. Well, I think it's more of a Canadian thing than a Black Canadian thing. We have to prove ourselves outside of this country to get respect
Yeah.
in this country.
And you're right, it's not a Black thing. It
It's a
is
Canadian thing,
truly
and
a Canadian thing. I've gone to conferences in like spaces in media, and that is the number one thing that they talk
yeah.
about. Yeah.
So I said I go where I'm loved. I go where I'm
Yep.
loved. You know, it's so simple, and also too. Again, this is for the content creators. You don't have to have a large audience to monetize. You
You
don't
don't
have
have to have a large audience to start your own summit. You
yeah,
don't
you
need a
don't have
large
to.
audience to be on a panel. You don't have to have a large audience to
No,
host a panel. You don't
no.
need like yeah, I've we're both attest to that. Like you
Yeah.
really
Like
don't.
like
Yeah.
like people think, oh, you must have thousands of dollars. No, I don't. I got the right followers. I don't want everybody. I want the right people. I
That
want the
part.
right, and you know, that is really key. And be consistent, engage with your audience, be a good storyteller, listen to your audience. You can't do it without them. Ask them. People say, oh, Dr. Vibe, how do I find out what my audience wants? Ask them. And you know, ask them. And again, ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions about yourself. Are you happy? When was the last time you played? I ask adults that, they look at me like I'm on crack. What do you mean play? I'm not supposed to be playing. You know, I had the opportunity sometimes this during the last year to play some board games. So much fun. And I love people, but I know people who they'll go to a social, they pull out and play Uno. Uno is that
Oh,
that
yeah.
like, but they play these different card games. Find something. What is something you can find in 2025 that will make you better and also have a positive impact not only in you but through you?
Yeah. Make your inner child smile
Yeah,
again.
have that inner child feeling. So, Dr. Shirley, you need to get a good rest.
I will. I just wanted to say you could find my email if you have any questions, blackcanadiancc@gmail.com, or if you follow Black Canadian Creators. We have an upcoming event. It's a
the
networking
23rd. Yes,
event
big.
on,
I'm gonna be there.
yeah, 23rd.
Mhm.
I want to give a big shout out with We Network. So through my co-organizers, which is Lead Podcasting, Sonar Network, and my company, the Children of the Network, we've partnered with We Network and have an upcoming professional networking event for, it's an opportunity for podcasters, influencers, creatives, professionals, entrepreneurs that are looking to make meaningful connection in a relaxed and casual setting and really start exploring the idea of podcasting as a form, as a tool, as a marketing platform, as a connector, as a form of communication. You don't have to be just a podcaster to be part of uh, net this amazing networking event. We're calling it Match My Wave. It'll be a great opportunity. It's happening at Kisa again on January 23rd at 6 p.m. And again, it's a great way to expand your network. We have some special surprises for all the attendees. And it's also our way to say thank you to the people that came to the Soundwave Summit last year and reignite the upcoming Soundwave Summit that will happen in May. So look forward for any of you to be there. If you go on,
Hey, are you gonna come? Are you gonna come on before it happens to talk about the event?
I could do that. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Let's
Yeah,
make
I
that
definitely could
happen.
do
Yes,
that.
please. So it's the, oh yeah, well, we got to talk about that soon because the 23rd is coming up right quick.
It's like right around the corner. Yeah. So
Okay, so
if
okay,
yeah,
you
so if
know
you go
what?
on
I'm asking you
Eventbrite,
live. I'm asking you live if you're available on this date. See, I'm doing this in real time. All right, let's see. Is Shirley available on? Okay, go to the channels. What the? Oh my gosh. Okay, calendar. All right. Are you available either the 17th or 20th of this month?
the 17th, I am. Let me see where it falls. When does it fall? I'm trying to
It's a
open. Why is my mind?
Friday. That's a week before your. It's a few days before your event, or the
Yeah,
20th,
yeah.
which is Monday before
17th
your
will
event.
be perfect. Just kind of
Okay.
give a
Well,
nice
send me an
gap.
email to confirm that, and
Okay.
send me any sort of literature. So the 17th. Yes, I'm pretty sure the 17th. Let me just check. Yeah, 17th's open or the 20th, either one.
17th is good for me.
Right.
What time would it be? Like
So morning
past
vibe,
5? Pardon me?
morning vibe network. So 9 o'clock,
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay, I could do that.
See this,
So
and that's another thing. Again, too. Not only just content creators, but in every life. If you see an opportunity, ask.
mm-hmm,
Do things in real
mm-hmm.
time. Because I said, Shirley, are you available? Bang, let's make it happen. Because remember, in 20 minutes, well, as soon as she gets off this phone, she's gonna forget this. I gotta get to sleep. I got a cold. So
I do.
try,
Sorry, guys. I've been
try,
sniffling
no
on the
problem,
mic.
but don't be afraid to ask. Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's professionally or personally, the from my lens, the greatest way you can move ahead in life is ask questions.
Period.
Stick
On
me with
that
a
note,
fork. I'm done.
everyone, have a wonderful rest of the day. Start thinking about what's that one thing you need to let go from
Hey, we
2022,
need to do something like this in 6 months' time
2020.
too.
Yeah, we do. We should.
But
So, yes,
content creators, good night. You
good
go to
night.
bed.
I'm going to bed and I'm gonna get myself. My daughter's made some cheesecake. We made some from scratch
Oh,
Blake
now I have gone. End
cheesecake.
this. Please end this.
So
End
I cannot wait
end this.
to taste
End
this.
this. End this. End this.
Bye, you guys. Have a
Don't
wonderful, wonderful
last quick
evening.
thing. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourselves grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Done.
Ooh. Night, y'all.
Bye.